Welcome Maryland to the Big Ten. We got here, they had ice cream, Big Ten ice cream, and Ohio State got a 52-24 win over Maryland. Doug Reese, Ari Wasserman, Bill Landis here at Byrd Stadium. How was the ice cream? Did you think the ice cream was good? We have a whole post about the ice cream that's really funny. How was it?
I slammed it in private so nobody would see.
The game was almost as good as the ice cream. Ohio State's offense, very efficient early on. A little bump maybe, and let Maryland think for a second that they might make it a game. They really didn't make it a game. Ohio State came in, at the bottom end of the top 25. After this, going into this week, should this Ohio State team be ranked higher than they are right now?
As I was waiting outside by Ohio State's locker room after the game, they played Randy Edsall's post-game news conference, and he basically said that, I think Ohio State should be ranked higher. That is the benchmark of what we're trying to build here at Maryland, which I thought was a great compliment. But at this point, I think Ohio State needs to just work their way up back the rankings. That's the way it works when you lose a game. And the biggest thing and the biggest criticism this program has faced over the past few years, or after last year and dating back to even previous regimes, is that it dominates its conference, and then when it goes out into the big world and starts playing big games, they lose big games. So I don't want to wait and see what they look like at the end of the year, but what I do want to see is Ohio State go to Michigan State and win a game before we start talking about top 10 stuff. I think that they've looked impressive. They've dominated the opponents they're supposed to dominate. But now, as they continue to improve and seem to click, I want to see them click against a elite defense like Michigan State in November.
Bill Landis.
Yeah, I don't want to be negative coming off a game where they scored 52 points and they've won 3 games in a row in blowout fashion. But I think they're ranked right where they need to be right now. They'll bump up a little bit. I don't know if they'll crack the top 15, but they'll move up a few slots, and that's probably where they should be. I don't think they're a top 15 team or a top 10 team because they haven't shown it yet. Based on who they've played, I mean, Kent State was not very good. Cincinnati, I think, was worse than we thought they were going to be. And in Maryland today, I don't know, I was kind of underwhelmed by Maryland. I thought Maryland was better, too, based off what they did against Indiana and what Indiana did against Missouri. I was expecting more from Maryland, expected them to put up more of a fight, and they didn't. And maybe that's just me not giving enough credit to Ohio State, but I need to see more before I say this is a top 10 team, and I think it's going to take until they play against Michigan State and see what they do then before I'm fully convinced that they should be ranked higher where they are. If you look at the last 2 games, I mean, Cincinnati, they let Cincinnati back in the game. Today, they almost let Maryland back in the game. And if you're talking about a top 10 program, top 10 teams don't do that. They slam the door shut and don't let other teams back. They don't give them hope. And Ohio State has done that a bit the last 2 weeks. So I think that's the next step.
Man, you guys are negative. I think they should be number 1. Not number 1. I do think they are making a very good argument to move in the rankings, and they are making the argument they need to make for the committee at the end of the year if they're going to have any shot at being in the top 4, which is the Virginia Tech loss was a fluke. They've improved immeasurably since the Virginia Tech loss. They look like a different offense. J.T. Barrett looks like a different quarterback. The offensive line looks like a different line. If you can make that argument, that's your shot. You get in the muck, you get in with a bunch of one-loss teams, and you say, this is who we are now. Now, I don't know if I agree with that's how it should be. I think the committee might buy that. So I can also buy them moving up the rankings. Yes, these teams have not been great, but Ohio State has dominated them offensively early. They were on the edge of them being games. They really weren't games against Cincinnati or Maryland, and I think this Maryland team might be decent. They might be the best team in the East other than Ohio State, Michigan State. I mean, I think this Maryland team could have a winning Big Ten record, and Ohio State, Maryland had no shot against them early on. I think that might be because Ohio State, not just because Maryland's bad. So I think they're on the path, and they got to this path more quickly than I thought they would. I thought to make this jump in a month since the Virginia Tech game is a pretty big jump in my mind.
We said not top 15 yet. Answer it.
I think I might put them in the top 15. I do have a vote. I don't know. They were out of my poll for the 2 games after they lost to Virginia Tech. I put them back at 23rd last week. There's lots of stuff going on in college football. I could see me putting them in the top 15 this week. I'll have to wait and see, though. Bye week coming up for the Buckeyes next week. Urban Meyer said they wish they were playing. They're feeling that confident. We will not be taking the week off. Ari has a big package coming on quarterbacks and recruiting and all kinds of stuff you want to read. And, of course, we'll have coverage the rest of Friday all day. It's not Friday, it's Saturday. All day Saturday through the weekend and into next week. For now, from Byrd Stadium, Doug Reese, Ari Wasserman, Bill Landis, Ohio State a 52-24 winner over Maryland. Thanks for watching here on cleveland.com.